Hi, Casey. How you doing? Who else is here? Say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi. What's up? Happy Saturday, everybody. We are going to jump right in with some tutorial because my husband is here waiting patiently for me to rewick his ass because he don't know how to do it. Now I'm going to warn you up front that he lets his coils get nasty. I mean, they are nasty. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Hi, Colt. Um, they are nasty. I mean, ashes come off of these things. I'm being what? Presumptuous. He didn't even say I'm exaggerating. He said I'm being presumptuous because I haven't seen the coils yet. But I know how long it's been since I rewicked them last. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact you did not rewick yourself. So yeah. Oh God, can you vape that down some? Holy crap, it's full. Vape it down a little. Suck on it! Suck on it! He's gonna be rude now. You agree on what? That he didn't rewick it? David didn't ever build that thing. He did. He replaced a coil on it once. He needs to get started. He's gonna make it. You know what? He's gonna end up fogging up my camera, and I'm gonna have to clean it. And you know what? I have to say, you got your package yesterday. Yay! Awesome. I love that. I love him to death. But you guys ever see Stephen Barry on? He does a bunch of Facebook lives. He owns a couple of shops out in Washington State, so he's been very, very vocal lately, as well he should be. But he does a lot of Facebook lives, and I'm telling you what, his camera is so clouded over with VG. He always has this like soft glow. I thought it was like maybe a filter or something at first, but he always, doesn't matter what the situation is. He always has this like sort of soft filter going on. I'm like, you know what? I bet you that kid's camera is just covered in VG. It's like, clean your camera, bitch. That's better. All right. So, let's see. Oh, here's some cotton. So you need cotton. You will need scissors. You need some tweezers. I like the angled ones. You need a paper towel to put all the junk on that you burn off, because it's bad, guys. It's bad. It's going to be caked on there like nasty. Like, I don't even know how he vapes on this shit. It's just nasty. What the hell is that? Oh no. That's an O-ring. We need to replace your O-ring too. Alright. So, alright. There we go. Okay. Wow, that's like bright. Alright. So this is the fatality. Ta-da! Alright. Alright. Now this little bad boy is pretty cool. Oh, David, do you ever clean this thing? God. Look at this, guys. He never cleans it. This is terrible. Look at this. You know, this is gonna bite you in the ass. And you know what? He breaks his mods because he drops them, but he doesn't ever like. They don't ever like die on him, and that is. Look at that. That's just gross. What is wrong with you? He expects me to do this shit, I swear. You're waiting on that nice thick crust. David, tell us about your salsa. Well, David, oh, you want David to talk to you? All right.
Oh, my salsa is really, really good. You'd love it. It is not for everybody, but it does taste very, very good. If you like heat, you'll love my salsa. It is packed with Scotch bonnets and jalapenos, and occasionally I'll throw in something else like a Carolina Reaper or what have you. But yes, very, very, very good. Oh yeah, looking good. Yeah. Okay, so apparently she's still.
I only have two hands. Casey lives in there. Can you give me a link to get 3 milligram VG, like 150 mil? I want to get the good VG. Stephen Taylor, I want to know what you mean by the good VG. I mean, I think we have pretty good VG, but you know, I mean, that's subjective. I will tell you, we do not have the, well, I do have some Palm VG, but we do not generally use the Palm VG. We use soy VG. The Palm VG is very, very sweet, and if we switched over to Palm, it would totally like mess with all of our flavors. So, yeah, we don't. I mean, we have some Palm VG. If somebody requests it, we can use it. But you know, for instance, we do have a one customer who can't take the soy VG and she needs Palm, so we keep some on hand for those particular. This is just coming right out, like it's not even pulling out, like it's breaking off, like that's just nasty. Look at that, dude. This is an example of what not to do. Look at how gross that is. Oh my god. Look, it's like you like scrape the gunk off. Oh, it's just nasty. Look at that. I just scraped it. Look at that big chunk of burnt e-liquid right there. See that? This is an example of what you do not do to your coils. That's so gross. Did you roast ribs on them? I know, right? Some VG has a pepper taste? Yeah, that's the Nick that does that. All right, let's turn this down some. We don't need to be burning this off at 115 watts. Let's take it down to like 50. There we go. And you want to pulse it so you don't melt the coils. And I want to burn off all of this shit on here. Just look at that. It won't even burn in the center yet because it's so gunked up with crap. But I need to turn it kind of to ash so I can knock it off. Oh, look at that. The big chunk right there. I'm going to set my damn... Oh, it fell in here. That's awesome. I can't even get it out. Look at that, another big chunk right there. This is what not to do to your coils, people. Alright, I wanted to burn it off so that it became kind of ashy and I could knock off all the shit. Now knocking off hot embers onto a paper towel, probably not a good idea. So be careful. Please don't set fire to your shit. Now, with coils this bad, you really ought to run them underwater and maybe dry burn them a few more times to get all the crap off, which I think I'm going to have David do because it's just so bad and it smells so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, we're almost there. One of them's heating up faster than the other one. All right, honey, you need to go rinse these off. Dry burn them a couple times and rinse them off. So, color coordinated, the nails match the cotton. I know, right? They've grown out so much. Oh, look, this one fell off. I haven't even replaced it. So, while David's doing that, I just got the notification, and as Jen is, I am not back from the lab dyer thing. I am not back from the lab. I am, first thing off the bat, I'm re-wicking David, who does not know how to wick himself. He knows how. Well, he sort of knows how. He's not very good at it, but I'm going to clean off the inside too, because it's like scorched. Well, it looks scorched, but it's not. Like, you can take a Q-tip and just run it around the inside, but it definitely looks scorched where the coils are, and you can just, oh my god, that's so gross. This is so nasty. But it takes all that kind of scorchiness off the insides, because, you know, clean your shit, people. Okay, it's just better that way. Wick or whack. I know, right? That thumb proves I'm a rebel. I know, right? So I should have showed this to you before I started it, but now it's nice and clean inside here. It's all nice and pretty. I don't want to tip it too far because there's juice in there. But it is just, yeah, clean your stuff. Clean the insides of your drip tips, people. You know, just clean it. You just want it to be nice and clean. All right, so. All right, okay, so. Wow, those look really good. This is the beauty of Aries coils, people. Like, let's see if I can get this to focus. Look at that. They're all clean now. There's no crap floating around on them. I'm gonna sort of clean up the edges here. Clean up the deck a little bit. But I just wanted any of that extra, any of those little pieces, charred pieces, to just, you know, get out of there. No, these coils look great. This is the beauty of Aries' coils, is that they take a licking and keep on ticking, man. Now let's see how they're heating up. Oh, look at that. Almost even, almost even. This one is heating up a little faster. But this one is spaced out a little bit more. So let's maybe squish that one a little bit. Okay, this one is still heating up a little bit faster. So we're gonna, oh, that's not wanting to go in there. These coils might be a little deformed, baby. I can't get the, what is going on here? I cannot get the jig in there, baby.
Just wiggle it, just
I can't get it in there. One of the coils
I've
is.
dealt with that many times. Just wiggle it a little bit.
It's not going in, dude.
Slap it on the side.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so apparently one of the coils in the center has shrunken a little bit, and it makes it very hard to get the jig in there. But you will see that it is now heating up evenly. Yay! Make sure to clean the chimney of that tank. I did. That's what I just showed you guys. I was cleaning the inside of this. You can't really see how. It was really dirty, but and like I said, it tends to look a little scorched. It's not really scorched. You can just use a Q-tip and clean it out. It's fine. So, all right. Now, this is what you do to wick this bad boy. Okay, so the coils are already installed, of course. You got negative to positive, obviously. Let's see which side is positive. Looks like this is the positive side. It has the insulator on it, and this is the negative side. It's outside the insulator. So we're going to cut off. Now, how much of this you cut off is kind of dependent on the kind of cotton you use. This one feels pretty thick, like a Muji cotton one. Like I have some puffs as well. Puffs is a lot thinner. So with the puffs, you'd want to make it pretty thick, like maybe this far. But for the Muji cotton, that much of it will not fit in there. So you want to make it, I don't know, it's maybe 1/4 inch, I guess. There we go. Is it deep enough to plant seeds? What's deep is what deep enough? Alright, take off the outside layers, because if you've ever worked with this stuff, you know that the outside layer is like more tightly woven, and it's not very fluffy and absorbent. We want all this like fluffy absorbent goodness inside right here. So, all right, so squish the end, and like if it's too thick, it won't feed through. And these are really, really thick coils too. Like they're very wide, so you might have to coax the cotton through a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's kind of tight. That might be too tight. All right, let's shave this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because these coils were built, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraps. And there we go, that's feeding in there a lot nicer. Oh, maybe not. Wow. Oh, shit. Be careful not to hit the power button. There we go. Oh, there we go, that's better. So if that one was too thick, this one might be too thick too. So I'm going to go ahead and peel one little layer off, and hopefully that'll work. You found it. Oh, good. I was going to put the link in the room, Stephen, when I got finished, because that is a big source of, that's a big topic right now, is where can you get unflavored e-liquid. And yes, we do offer that. Higgy Sigs offers that. Now this is pretty thick, so I'm guaranteeing this is Muji cotton. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I cut it like, I put the scissors up against the side of the deck, and then maybe move it out just like a 1/16 of an inch, and just cut it off. So basically that's the perfect length right there. But this is very thick. Now if you put too much cotton into this juice well, it won't allow the juice. If it's too thick, it won't allow the juice to flow into the coils. So raking it out like this and sort of kind of getting out all the scragglies is pretty paramount, really. When I'm using the puffs, it's not nearly as thick, so I don't need to do any raking. It's thin enough that you don't have to worry about it. But the main point is you want the juice to be able to flow up through the cotton and into the coils. So just comb it out and get out all those all the extras in there that's not really attached to anything. But you don't want to comb out too much because then it'll flood. You know, there's a balance. There's a balance to it. Then you just take the ends and you basically just shove them into this little hole right here. All right, and you'll see that it comes out here on the side. I tend to push it back up a little bit so that it's still open down here, so that the cotton is literally just plugging up the hole. So it allows the juice to get into here and then start to wick up there. So just push that down into there and then push it back up. There you go. Jen's done this coming back from black before. It shows. So next thing you do is you want to wet your wick. Imagine that. He's using peanut butter buster. Imagine that. Peanut butter buster. I don't know, you know, David embodies the true spirit of the smoker, I think, because he just will not change his flavor. He'll try other flavors, but he always comes back to his peanut butter buster. He says that he likes to do Christmas spice at Christmas, but even this past Christmas, he didn't do it. He did like a bottle, and then he was like, nah, give me my peanut butter buster. It really surprises me that not more vapors are like that, actually, that they find one flavor and then they stick with it. Because as smokers, we were totally like that, right? Alright. So, this only goes on one way. It's got little tabs. There's a little tab here and here, so you want to make it meet the notches in the fatality there, and then it just twists on. Now you don't keep the juice thing all the way open, do you? Yeah, so he does it about halfway. I don't understand that, to be honest with you, but I see bubbles forming, so it is definitely wicking. There's a big bubble right there, so the juice is definitely flowing. All right, now let's get his reaction. Let's see, how do we do this? All right, so we're gonna see his reaction when he vapes for the first time on fresh wicks. Oh yeah, it's all down at 50. I forgot to put it back up. Oh. He's got to put it back up at 115. He doesn't even react. Hold on. He goes, there it is. He's making it too damn foggy in here. You can't even see him. All right. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, look at that. Good thing I like the way this stuff smells. It's not like a shamrock bomb or anything, right? Alright, so there you go. This is an example of what not to do to your coils and your RDAs. Don't let them get so nasty, people. Oh, he didn't dry hit at all. Not even a little bit.
This fit
apparently I put too much on the wicks because he had a little bit of spit back going on. So all right, so he's enjoying his clean peanut butter buster. I mean, this time I actually had to pick like chunks of ash and charred shit off of his coils. I don't normally even have to do that. Turn off the device when you do this at home. It's actually a pretty good idea because I almost burnt the cotton. Actually, I almost burnt the cotton. Thank you, Vapor Owl. That was.
I love you.
I know I was not leading by example on that.
Everybody, see you tomorrow.
All right, so we are definitely doing Trench's Funny Farm tomorrow.
I would think so.
I would think so too. So yeah, you should really turn off the device, or use a build deck, which is actually probably the safest way to do it. Is to use a build deck like a 521 tab or something. Yeah, you shouldn't have the device on. That was stupid. And I almost like got burned for it too because I accidentally hit the power button at one point when I was pulling on the wicks, and it would have just totally burnt the cotton up. So yeah, it's true. I'm sorry. It's easy to get lazy after you do this for a while. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's how you wick the fatality. I will say that, and I don't know if this is. Remember, I got the red Zeus X off of Wish. I don't know if this is a Wish thing or if it's just the way they all are, but I have not been happy with this because the finish is already coming off, and I haven't even been using it really. I used it a little bit, but it got really tight on there, and I had a hard time getting getting it off, getting the bottom off. And yeah, I've already got chips in the finish. Like the red paint is just coming off, and I'm very upset about that. I can show you guys here. Hang on. So you can already see. Let's see here. Let's see here. There's a chip right there, and there's a chip right there. Ah, focus. Damn it. Focus. Seriously? There we go. See the chip? So I'm really kind of upset about that. I ain't a proper vapor until I'm branded. Oh yeah, get the Verpies, right? Who here has kissed the coils? So yeah, like now I'm kind of afraid to use this too much because I feel like the red paint's just gonna chip off if I use it too much. Not a problem with the rainbow. The rainbow is obviously not paint. It's obviously they've treated the metal to be rainbowy. Not even a nick on the rainbow. But this red is not sticking very good. Nail polish will fix it. Oh, so like coat it so it won't chip anymore? That's an idea. Or I could even potentially maybe put some red nail polish on the device itself. Hi, Doc. I get worried about that with like when other people say like put nail polish on the mod because I handle it too much, and that's just gonna rub right off like that no. But on the tank, I don't touch that as much, so that might be an option. Thank you for that, Richard Wells. I appreciate that. Which has a lot. I mean, it doesn't look counterfeit. It's branded Geek Vape and all that stuff, but I wonder whether or not it would be better quality if I had gotten it straight from Geek Vape. I mean, you know, so I saved like $15. You know, is it worth it because it's already starting to chip? I don't know. Oh, Doc, I am so far behind on my VIP stuff. Like I'm behind on sending out birthday VIPs. I'm behind on keeping up with like who's expired. Like if you're expired, it's fine. You're still a VIP at this point. I'm gonna send you an email and ask you to renew, and I'll probably give you another couple months on top of that to renew. It's been really crazy. I mean, it's been nonstop for like 2 months now. We haven't really had a chance to even stop and breathe. Um, David doesn't use the Zeus-X though. He likes the Fatality. And that the Fatality gives you a much different vaping experience than the Zeus-X. Okay, I mean I will attest to that. You know, I do have a Fatality. I don't care for it actually. It's not that it's a bad RDA. It's an excellent RDA, or RTA, I should say. It's an excellent RTA, but it's almost too intense. Like it doesn't. It's just my flavors don't taste right to me. But like, you owe me money. I paid for 12 months. It's past here. Oh, Doc, it's my fault though. I mean, like I said, I just haven't, you know, here, I'll go look it up right now. Let's see here. Let's open up. Where's my VIPs? Because I have to do this all by hand. We don't have it automated. Like, I wish it was automated, but let's see here. Yeah, but I haven't sent you a notice yet. I mean, like, I've got expired accounts going all the way back to July. And I've got other ones that I've reminded a couple of times, and I still haven't taken them down, you know, so, like, it's okay. It's okay. If you want to renew, go, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and renew your VIP membership, and then we're all good. How's that? Just go ahead and renew it, and then yeah, you know, don't worry about it. Then your guilt is absolved. The real good part of this video starts 40 minutes into this video, the CDC deception. Did you put a link in the room, Stephen? Because I cannot see that. Oh, it's an interesting idea. That would actually probably be a good idea. So that would be like the 9th or the 10th. It's actually not a bad idea. I'm going to bring that up to David. Maybe that, yeah, because that gives us a full month to sort of like put the word out and get people excited about what's left. That works for me then, Doc. All of your guilt is absolutely absolved if you just go ahead and renew. Well, Veterans Day is the 11th, but it would be Veterans Day weekend because we don't normally cast on Mondays. But I'd want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it on a Monday anyway. I'd want to do it like Saturday, probably Saturday or Sunday, because I think we can get through it all in a day if we hustle. There's about 300 line items here. There's some stuff here that is probably just not going to sell, so we'll be able to skip over it. But there's still quite a bit of stuff here I think would sell. So that's actually a good idea. Which means then, well, you know, again, nonstop. You know, I mean, we started planning for the auction in July. You know, and then we did the auction in August, and then right after that we had to plan to go to DC. And then of course, you know, the shit hit the fan with all of this, you know, mysterious vaping illness is what they keep calling it. Ooh. It's not mysterious, and it's not a vaping illness. You know, it is lipoid pneumonia. Hi, how you doing, legend? But yeah, there's still quite a few. There's still some like there's a Matt Bennett Squonker I'm looking at. There's a Purge mod. I'm kind of like looking under my monitors at my bookshelf there. There's still quite a bit of stuff here. There's some Stick Princes. There's the TFE 12s. There's Crown. There's a lot of Vandy Vape stuff. There's still quite a bit of stuff here. The coilies came in, so I got the GSFA coilies. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of stuff here, actually. So, I think we can get to it if I think we can do it in a day. I think. I could be wrong. You'll bid on all of it. There's a Speedo Rever too that I kind of want to bid on. It's really cool because it's like a leather, like brown. But the Revo has this really cool coil to it that it defies physics. Okay, it completely defies physics because it's somehow the juice just continues to wick up into this disc, right? It's just really cool. It's just really, really cool. I saw that, for you guys who don't know, Legend has spent the last month or so in the great state of Texas, enjoying the Texas heat. I say that sarcastically, because it is hot in Texas. It's true. I can have that one. But there is quite a bit of stuff here actually. So, anyway, but yes, he has been in the great state of Texas for at least a month, and enjoying the big if you live on the East Coast, it's very wooded, all up and down the East Coast, right? I mean, all the way into the Tennessee Valley and the Ohio River and stuff. It's very, very wooded, right? So there isn't anywhere, but it doesn't just get wet when you tip the device. It somehow the juice manages to defy gravity and get up in there. It's crazy. I've watched it. I've played with it. It's really cool. Not this one. I played with a friend of mine's, but it's just really cool. Anyway, my point is, I was talking about with if you live on the east of the Mississippi River, it's very, very wooded. Okay, there's lots of mountains. There's lots of trees. There's very tall trees. All right, so on any given day, it doesn't matter where you are, anywhere along the East Coast, you're going to have like a 60 to 90, well, I would say a 90 to maybe 120 degree view of the sky, okay? Because there's always going to be stuff in your way. There's going to be trees, there's going to be buildings, there's going to be mountains. It's just, you very rarely ever will see an actual horizon to horizon view, okay? And the further west you go, the less vegetation you have, okay? And while Texas is not considered a desert, it's definitely much lessly dense with trees and stuff, okay? And I've been to Texas. What part of Texas were you in? When I was in Texas, I was in Houston. What part of Texas were you in? I forget. Hi, Saints. How you doing? I did. No, I played with a friend's device. That's even better. And Sloan, what's up? Weatherford. What is that close to? That's not a major city. What major city were you near? But my point is that Texas does not have nearly as many trees in it, and it doesn't have nearly as many hills or mountains either. It's very, very flat. And if you go further west, like into places like New Mexico, especially if you go north, even like you go to not near the Rockies, obviously in Colorado, but like Montana, for instance. Montana is called the Big Sky. Well, it's called something else, but it's known for its quote unquote big sky, right? And the reason for that is because when you have a landscape that doesn't have a lot of trees and doesn't have a lot of mountains, and you step outside and you look and you can see like the horizon, right? You see horizon to horizon, like all the way. You have a full 180 degree view of the sky. And it's really intimidating, particularly if it's not something you're used to, right? I don't know near Fort Worth. Okay, that's right, because I have told you I have an uncle that lives there. And so it's, I guess if you live there, you might be used to it, but I'm not, because I live on the East Coast. So I'm very much not, I'm used to seeing my limited 90 to 100 degrees of sky at any given time. But you step out of your car in Texas, and like I said, you're looking at a full 180 of sky with nothing in your way. And it's really beautiful. And yeah, it's definitely something you should experience, no question. So, I don't know if you guys wanted to know that, but it's just something to keep in mind if you're traveling. Because I do remember that though when I was in Houston. I stopped off somewhere to get a bite to eat, and yeah, we have not had any rain here in forever. Legend. The prairies, the mountains, and forest areas make me claustrophobic. Okay. I grew up around it, so I guess it doesn't bother me. But there's lots of trees here. I mean, lots of trees. They're forever having to cut down trees to build shit because there's just so many trees and they're so packed in, so dense that there's just no room to build anything. I am saying the sky is bigger in Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas. Okay, I went hunting that day because I remember this. This was years and years ago. What year was I in Texas? I was in there, I think, 96, 97. And I had been on the hunt for the perfect pair of cowboy boots, actually. I wanted a pair of cowboy boots. And I had gone to a few stores around the Atlanta area, and I had looked at their cowboy boots, and I just didn't find anything that was me. It just I don't know, it just wasn't me. Either they were too flashy or too plain or just, I don't know, it was frustrating. There was just nothing that really grabbed me. Even the really expensive ones. I mean, I wasn't willing to spend $700 on a pair of cowboy boots. You can, by the way, spend several hundred, $700 on a pair of cowboy boots, especially if they're made of ostrich skin. That's the most expensive material that they make it out of. But it's just nothing was grabbing me, not even the expensive ones. So when I went to Texas, I said, if I can't find a pair of boots in Texas, can't find a pair of boots anywhere because it's Texas. That is true, Scuba. I have never been on a cruise boat, but I would imagine it's a very similar feeling because you absolutely would get that 180 degree of sky in the ocean, no question. Now, so I went hunting. I went to several different stores in the Metro Houston area, and I found a store and that was nothing but cowboy boots. Nothing. It was just a boot store, right? And this place was like, it was big. We're not talking like Walgreens size, okay? We're talking like maybe not Walmart sized, but we're definitely talking a giant store, okay? We're not talking your average Payless Shoe Source, okay? We're talking, this is a giant store dedicated to nothing but boots. A good boot store right next to Texas Roadhouse on 124. I mean, I would have needed, you would have been beneficial for you to tell me that 22 years ago, just saying. Yeah. No, I'm not sure how many I went to here, Scuba. I went to several. I might have gone to that one. It's very possible. I don't remember. But just nothing was grabbing me. And I did. I found the perfect pair of boots in this store. They were like a camel colored suede, and they had fringes on them. I definitely wanted something that didn't need a lot of care, but they weren't too plain, but they weren't too flashy. Like, because you get something like the snake skin and the alligator skin, and you got to really, really, really take care of them. And I knew I probably wouldn't, so I did find the perfect pair of boots. They were Laredos, and they cost about $200. You need some cowboy boots? My ex-best friend borrowed mine, and you never got them back. Oh no, I'd be getting those fuckers back. I would definitely be getting those fuckers back. I need to get mine fixed. Actually, some of the stitching has come out on one of the sides, and I need to get them repaired. But yeah. it was definitely an experience to go shopping in Houston, the Metro Houston area. And like I said, I got out. I remember getting out. I think it was an Einstein Bagels. I was getting a bagel. It was like breakfast, and I stepped out of the car and I just went, because I had this full 180 view of the sky, and it was just so big. It's crazy. You don't know how much boots cost in Texas, but you know tequila is down. I mean, boots are like you get what you pay for kind of thing. Actually, Sean. I mean, really, you get what you pay for. Um, you could spend anywhere from $50 to $1,000 on a pair of boots. Really, I would imagine the $50 pair of boots isn't going to last you long. But and the $1,000 pair of boots is something you probably wouldn't want to wear that often, so they'll probably last you forever. I don't know. I didn't want to spend that much on a pair of boots. I spent $200 on my boots. They aren't fashionable at the moment, so the cow is welcome to them. Red cowboy. I mean, come on, they were red. I don't know. Would I have gotten a pair of red boots if I'd seen them? I'm sure I did. I'm sure there was a reason I didn't get them too. But I think red cowboy boots would be pretty sexy. All right, so as you know, more and more states are falling to the dark side. This week we saw the fall of 3 more states, I think. Montana, Washington, Oregon. Minnesota fell too. Missouri, I think, is on the chopping block. It's crazy, right? It's just craziness out there. And we need everybody more than ever. You women in boots. I had a pair of trainers, and I had it for 8 years. The leather went rock solid. Only threw them out last week. Yeah, I know Ohio's on the chopping block. A lot of states are on the chopping block, actually. At this point, Georgia is not on the chopping block, but they don't go into session until January. So we have 2 months to get hold of our, to educate. We have to educate. That's just it, that we have to educate. To educate these people, explain to them the facts. I want to say, and this guy is it's not even my district, so he didn't have any reason to even talk to me. But there is a city here. I'm not sure that Johns Creek is actually an incorporated city. I think it's still unincorporated, although you can send mail to Johns Creek, Georgia. They do have their own zip code, but I'm not sure that there's actually like a quote-unquote city of Johns Creek, but they do. Well, I guess if they have city councilmen, there must be. I think they did finally incorporate Johns Creek a few years back. So there is a guy apparently who's one of the current city councilmen of Johns Creek is in favor of vaping. Apparently, I don't know who he is, but I just know that he's, this is what his opponent is saying. Okay, so he's gearing up for election, right? He's running his campaign, and somehow, for some reason, this guy's ad on Facebook came across my newsfeed, right? And you know what? I'm gonna go look it up. I'm gonna read it to you guys because I was pretty impressed actually with what happened here. First of all, I want to tell you guys that I am absolutely terrified. Okay, and when I say it's terrified, I am terrified of getting into any kind of discussion on Facebook. Generally speaking, I will avoid opposing or putting out a strong opinion about something because I don't know if terrified is the right word. I mean, I am terrified of it, but I just don't have time for idiots. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for idiots. I don't have time to argue and debate. I don't have the patience, especially, when people, because people get mean on Facebook. Okay, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Okay, people's decorum just goes straight out the window, and they say things that they would never say to to somebody face to face. And they think that that's okay because they're hiding behind a keyboard, and that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but they think that it's fine, right? So occasionally, every once in a while, I sort of snap, and I will, because I've seen the same thing over and over and over again. Hi, Yardbird. Call. But when you see the same thing being stated over and over again, sooner or later you're gonna snap. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, look, damn it, people, listen to me. And you don't want to come across as hoity, and you don't want to come across as a know-it-all, and you don't want to come across as a troublemaker. But it's like you're like, oh, you've got to stop spewing these lies, right? And that has happened more often lately than usual. Usually I'm strong enough to just scroll on by. Right, that's my thing. I just scroll on by. Right, you may not see me getting very active on Facebook because I don't like to get active on Facebook. Okay, I might like something here and there. I might love something here and there. I might make a comment here and there. But for the most part, I just lurk. I'm definitely a lurker on Facebook. So this guy, Adam Thomas. Okay, Adam Thomas. He is running for city council in Johns Creek, Georgia. Now, he posted this on the 6th, and I had to comment, right? I had to say something. He said, "How are more vape shops improving lives in Johns Creek? They're not. Unlike my opponent, I plan to limit the expansion of vape shops and will vote for regulations that limit or eliminate their continued presence in our community. It's one of the many differences I have with the incumbent, and why I believe Johns Creek needs a common sense voice on the council that represents our values." And my immediate reaction is, fuck off. But I didn't do that. All right. What I did say was, and I've gotten a lot of likes on this too, actually. What I did say was, but you'll leave cigarettes in every store, something that's proven to kill half its users, and you want to eliminate an alternative that's 95% less harmful. Seems legit. That's all I said, right? I just left it at that. And I've gotten 8 no thumbs downs, no angry faces, no sad faces. I've gotten 8 likes and loves on that comment. And so then he responded. He said, "We'll have to disagree that it's 95% less harmful. We actually don't even know the full ramifications of vaping, especially on children. To me, it's not worth the risk, and there is no..." There! He spelled there wrong! He spelled it T-H-E-I-R. And there is no tangible benefit to our citizens. Now, I didn't even want to, when I got the notification he responded, and I didn't even want to go check it out. I was like, oh, I do not want to get into a Facebook war with this guy, because I knew it was going to become a war. But before I even had a chance to respond, somebody else responded on the post as well. So now I get a notification there's 2 responses to my comment, and I thought, oh, fuck. I'm like, here it goes. I'm going to have to start doing research and pulling out links, and it's just going to turn into a shit show, right? To my surprise, a woman, which I love, I want to friend her now just for sticking up for me, responded, "Children are not allowed to purchase e-cigs. I have to show ID every time I purchase. If children are purchasing, it is online or from someone selling black market. The CDC has said that 90% of recent illnesses contain THC, although they still don't know what is causing the illness. So I responded to her. I said, thank you. Actually, they've narrowed it down in over 90% of the cases to vitamin E acetate oil used in black market products. Oil is very dangerous to vape and causes a condition called lipoid pneumonia. Regulated nicotine vaping products are 100% water soluble. And then I responded to Mr. Adam Thomas. And I said, all right, I'm laying it all out, right? I said, the Royal College of Physicians, the most respected and oldest assembly of medical professionals in the world, and who declared smoking was hazardous 2 years before our own Surgeon General did, determined in 2016 that vaping is at least 95% less harmful. They actually estimate it is more like 97, but gave the extra 2% due to lack of long-term studies. You can read the full report here. I gave him the section where it says that and the link to the report. And then I said, I implore you to educate yourself and others on this very important topic. The benefit to our citizens is substantial. You can read a full comprehensive guide to policymaking here. And then I gave him a link to Lindsay Stroud's policymaking book. And then I finished it off with a quote from Dr. Scott Gottlieb that says, if you could take every adult smoker and fully switch them to e-cigarettes, that would have a substantial public health impact. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, former commissioner, FDA. To which that has gotten 3 likes and loves. And then another guy came back and stood it up for me too and said, the 95% safer is right. Some tests say 98% safer. They did studies years ago in Europe, way before it was popular here. UK has vape shops and hospitals. I'm like, yes, people are standing up for me on Facebook, yay! Oh, I was terrified though. I was terrified. I know, he can't spell, but he wants to. I know. It's not cool. I really wanted to be like, at the very end, I wanted to put apostrophe THERE. But I didn't do it. Oh, look at that. I should get credit for that. I should get credit for not correcting his grammar. I didn't. I restrained. I was not a bitch. I know, right, Dyer? I am slowly, it's taken a while, but I am slowly resigning to the fact that Twitter is probably a much better platform than Facebook. And with the Facebook thing, hi Panzer. With the Facebook thing, did you guys see that Brent Stafford's account got disabled? Like, the Regulator Watch is still okay. He can still go live on Regulator Watch. I'm not really sure how, but his account, his personal account, has been disabled, and he has not been able to find out even why they disabled it, let alone re-enable it. Brent Stafford, you know, that really informative, like news looking with the bleach blonde hair guy, you know, that looks like a movie star guy. You know who I'm talking about? Facebook kicked him off of their platform. It's crazy. You've been ghosting the whole time. I tell you what, Tiger. Oh, Utah impressed the living shit out of me. I cannot believe I have banana churro in my Zeus X. Nice. On my Hexome, and it is an excellent vape. Nice. Just so you guys know. Well, you guys in the U.S. know. I can't. I probably can. I need to do the calculations and make sure. But definitely domestically, I can send you guys banana churro concentrate if you want it. Just saying. And that was courtesy of Scuba, who had me put banana on top of my churro. Oh, I want to talk about too. what happened here what Thursday night. Yes, Thursday night. Um, First of all, I want to say that my for bacon churro is better. Nice. Um, our friend Vicky, who's still staying with us, she's had one chemo um, treatment. She had it last Monday. She has a device now. It's not like as Dad or as David put it. They said to him, "This is not your father's chemo." So what it is instead of her sitting there for half an hour and getting a huge dose of this poison injected into her veins in one sitting, is they actually give her a device to take home that slowly administers the medication over 2 days. And she had very few side effects from it. Lethargy was probably the biggest side effect she had from it. She was not not nauseated. She was not. I mean, obviously she's only had one treatment, so she wouldn't see any hair loss necessarily. But and Utah has created a very easy to close window. Oh, what do you mean by that, Dyer? Because I was really impressed with I've got like I can see like I've got flaky skin on my nose and it's driving me crazy. Utah put out legislation that is very doable. Like, I'm really, really impressed with it. I was in town, went around to all the vape shops and asked them how all this BS is going to affect them. They said it won't affect them one bit. And that's just it, though. So what Utah has done is Utah has introduced legislation that would require a specialty. Utah has done the same thing Ohio did with licensing after prohibition. Well, there isn't prohibition in Utah yet, and there isn't any federally yet either. So the licensing says that you can get a license now to be a specialty tobacco retail store. And only places that get a specialty tobacco retail store license can sell flavors. So that knocks out smoke shops, head shops, C-stores, gas stations, department stores. Like, unless they and I don't know what their core requirements are, but I hope one of the requirements is that you have to sell like 80% or more vapor products in your store, and that completely solves all our problems. Licenses are the issue, and they are tied to zoning in that state, I believe. I just know that the legislation like made so much sense, and it's something that I really hope that we can bring to more states, especially these states that have already imposed flavor bans. Hey, here's a solution, here's a compromise, make it a license. You guys make more money because you have to buy the license, right? And 1/3 of Ohio was dry until the 60s because of that BS. They are tied to zoning in that state. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'll admit I don't know all the ins and outs of it. But the idea behind the legislation, I think, is amazing. Yes. Make it so that the only place that can sell vapor products is someplace that's specifically licensed for it. I am all about it. The locals just refuse to issue the licenses and have the discretion to do so. Okay, now that part I don't like. That part's not cool. Okay. But the ability to, the concept behind it, having those specialty licenses, I think is perfect. The state has passed the buck to the counties to ban it. And that is why it is so, and here's one of the reasons, guys, this is why it is so important. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Okay, there's 30 people in the room right now. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, if you live inside the city limits, go to your city, your city website, Look for their councilmen's, look for their agenda. Like that's what you want. You want the city agenda, right? City governments are really small. All right, they tend to be very, very small. They tend to be people who are not full-time politicians. They do not work for the city 8 hours a day. They meet like twice a month. All right, at like 6:30 at night. These people all have day jobs. All right. You need to go and look every week, every single week. You have to go to these websites. Go to your county website, go to your city website, and look at their agendas for their meetings, okay? And make sure you don't see anything on the agenda that involves vaping in your, because that's what's happening, okay? They're killing us from the inside out. All right, they're all these little cities and counties are like popping up and doing vaping stuff, and if nobody's there to oppose them, they'll just do it. And apparently they'll do it even if they do have somebody there to oppose them, as we saw in Washington this week, which was insane. Like over 200 people showed up to oppose the flavor ban in Washington State, and they did it anyway. Balsonic called me up right after, and he just said it was disgusting, because there were so many people there just literally begging them not to do this, begging them not to put them out of business, begging them not to condemn the entire state back to smoking, and they just said, we don't care, we did it anyway. The worst part to me is they are doing this with no incorrect or propaganda. I know. They're doing this it happened in Lilburn, guys. It happened right here where I live. All right. Now, and to be honest with you, Lilburn is like 2.4 square miles. Okay. I don't know. Let's see how much. Let's see. Lilburn, Georgia. Let's find out. It's really small. The actual city limits are really small. It is, let's see. Let's do square miles. Yeah, 6.4 square miles. Okay, Lilburn is really small. All right. So it's not a great loss at this point. I get it, but it's still a loss. Okay, still a loss. And if all the little 6.4 square mile towns, cities do this, it's going to become more and more. It's gonna snowball, right? But it happened right here in Lilburn. And it happened right under our nose, and we didn't know it was coming. That they passed an ordinance that says no new vape shops can open up inside the city limits. It's not affecting the ones that already exist. Cool. But no new ones can come, right? And their reasoning behind it was they wanted to get ahead of the problem. That's literally what he said. Like on the news, like when the reporter who called me and said, "Hey, I want to get a statement from you about this ordinance in Lilburn," and I'm like, "What ordinance?" And she said, "Oh, the one that was passed last night." She interviewed the city manager and us on the same day, and that's literally what he said. We want to get ahead of the problem. And this was before all that vaping illness, this shit, it was before that. City manager is probably sitting in his office right now going, damn glad I did that shit. God, Lilburn's got it going on now. People pushing the NIC limits are nothing to celebrate either. Killing off the DIY market is a bigger harm to us than any loss of sales to Juul. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to figure, because you're right. I wouldn't want to kill off the DIY market. I absolutely wouldn't want to kill off the DIY market. And I would hate to have to limit you guys, you DIYers, to 24 milligram NIC, which, that's what we can offer, because that's all we registered was 24 milligram. But if you did limit it, you would completely abolish Juul. That's the thing, though. If you limited it to 24, 25 milligrams, Juul doesn't even make anything that low. Like, it would completely eliminate their product from the shelves overnight. Done. So let's see. Only the state controls tobacco and alcohol sales. The city and or county has nothing to say about it. Yeah, but they have something to say about vaping. In a lot of states, you can still either block it through zoning or make the process untenable to apply for. I mean, I've just gotten to the point now where, I grew up feeling like they do it in the UK, they can do the same in the US. Okay. I wasn't, okay, I was not aware of that, actually. Well, no, I was aware of that, actually, that over in the UK, Juul does probably the max, the 20 milligram stuff. But I imagine Juul is not as popular over there as it is here. I could be wrong, but I imagine it's not. Because that's what makes Juul that's what makes it so attractive, is this giant, gargantuan, ridiculous amount of nicotine you get a little buzz off of. City and county can, however, deny business licenses and impose extra fees. They also can use zoning as a destructive tool. Yeah. I hope that does not happen here. I pray that doesn't happen here. Lilburn has been pretty good to us. And even if that ordinance included existing shops, it still wouldn't affect us because we're manufacturers. We're not a retail location. We're not even zoned for commercial. Well, we're zoned commercial, but we're not zoned to retail. So, Juul is run by Tobacco Altria. Our corrupted government loves tobacco, so DIY is safer right now. What makes it attractive is the aftermarket pods that aren't Nick. Yeah, I know, Stephen Taylor, and it drives me crazy. This is not the America that I grew up in, right? I grew up in an America thinking that it was about we the people, and that, and while I wasn't involved, I don't know, I was naive, and I assumed, stupidly, naively assumed that the people who were in power were listening to the people who were talking to them, and doing, what was best for everybody. Even though I wasn't the one talking to them, I just, like I said, I thought people were talking to them. The people who were talking to them were, speaking for me. It was very naive way of thinking. And I never in a million years thought that I would care about politics as much. Never. Juul isn't popular here. Most vape shops don't carry it, and the supermarkets that sell them have better, cheaper options. You know what? I heard that. Well, I don't know about in the UK, Sloan, but I know in Canada, the Juul is stupid expensive there. Like, stupid expensive. Okay? You can go to a Quick Trip. All right? A Quick Trip is a convenience store / gas station. And they're awesome. Like, Quick Trip is, in my opinion, the single best reason to live outside Atlanta and in the South, because Quick Trips are just amazing. Okay? Quick Trips are they have this great coffee bar, because it's like a whole wall of like coffees and cappuccinos and even iced coffees and like frappes and whatnot. And then there's like another wall of Slurpees and slushies, and then there's another wall of fountain drinks. And then they have like a kitchen where they'll like make stuff for you, and they have all kinds of snacks. They have fresh donuts every day. There's like fresh sandwiches made every day, and salads, and yeah, they even have beer and they have wine. There's, it's awesome. It's like my favorite place to go. I don't know about raceways. If raceways we have we don't have raceways. We have racetracks. But apparently it's like a Wawa or like a Sheetz. But in my opinion, I have officially now been to a Wawa and I've been to Sheetz, and I still think Quick Trip is better. So, in any case, but the Quick Trips, right across on the front door, There's like a banner, a sticker across the front door that says, "Get a Juul for $14.99," or a 2-pack of Juuls for $24.99. Apparently, they're like $50 for one, and that doesn't even include the pods in Canada. You have Wawas in Florida? We don't have Wawas. That's weird that you have Wawas in Florida. We don't have Wawas in Georgia. We have Quick Trips, and they're awesome. I like I said, I couldn't speak before. I can speak now because I did spend 3 days in Virginia, and I went to a Wawa, and a couple times actually I went to the Wawa, and I can officially now say that I still think Quick Trip is better. Dual starter kit is 20 pounds. 4-pack of pods are 11 pounds. Logic, blue kits, etc. are half the price. Yeah, so 20 pounds is like what? Like $25? You can get a 2-pack with pods for the same price that you can get a single Juul in the UK. What did the Wawa pedal? It must have been a phase shift for them. At least the surf sound is going. Juul was on sale for $12 or so during their initial push. They're still on sale for that. Like, well, $14.99. $14.99 at the Quick Trip. So, yeah. Not a fan. Definitely a Trojan horse. I am pleased to say I never bought one. I never even tried one. I don't think. I think I tried. No, I never tried. I've never even tried one. Wawa sounds like an STD. Hey, I don't know where they came up with the name. I'm just saying that it is a Wawa has like, it's very similar to Quick Trip. They have those little like roller grills too, where they have like, my Quick Trip has 6 roller grills, and they have egg rolls, hot dogs, corn dogs, taquitos. They have a whole bunch of stuff. It's awesome. I love my Quick Trip. The sound of the 70s Saint. Nope, I have never tried it. Never bought one. Nope. Talking out of experience. All right. Do we want to go back to our usual DIY lab routine and come up with a new flavor? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, talking about new flavors. So I Thursday night, David ended up having to take our friend Vicky to the ER because her feeding tube had come out and it would not go back in right. And we were worried about infection, of course. So he took her to the ER, and they ended up having to keep her overnight because they had to surgically reimplant it. But there was a surprise that I was keeping from him, actually, because I kind of spoiled the surprise. It was supposed to be a surprise for me too. But Odian and his wife were in town. They've been in town all week, and so they wanted to come and surprise us. They were supposed to come on Friday. But I knew that David was going to be taking Vicky out to Athens because she was getting her PET scan, and she was officially going to be staged. Her cancer was finally going to be staged, and we could develop a better plan going forward. But that didn't happen because she had to go to the ER, and she was there overnight. So now the PET scan has been rescheduled for next Thursday, I think. It's so frustrating. But anyway, Odian and his wife have been they spent the whole week here. As a matter of fact, they're still here, if I'm not mistaken. They're going back on tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And they spent a lot of time with Peach, and then they were here Thursday night into the wee hours of the morning hanging out with us. And we did play in the lab. We did play. Oh, there it is.
Peanut Butter Buster is mine, bitch. Key lime ice cream is mine. What the? Who's that bitch now?
All right. So, anyway, so what I've been doing though for the last couple of weeks is I've been going over how incredibly easy it is to use the Higgy concentrates that you can buy from us. You can buy our pre-mixed concentrates of your favorite Higgy flavors, right? And just and use those. It's very easy to do. You just put a certain amount in your bottle, and then you fill it up with your base. And you can get both of those things. The banana churro didn't even. It wasn't his. It was Scuba's. It was Scuba's banana churro. So yeah. That's what I've been doing is I've been going over how easy it is to, if you get a Higgy concentrate and you get a Higgy base from us, how easy it is to just combine those two things together and make your own e-liquid. So for those of you who, I haven't seen anybody new necessarily in the chat, so I don't know if anybody is here looking to learn how to DIY or to learn how to DIY easily and quickly and safely with Higgy products. Or we can go and make something new. Now, the reason I brought up Odian and his wife is because we did make some new flavors the other night when we were here playing in the lab. So, and I would be willing. I will say that we did. For time's sake, peruse e-liquid recipes. I can't take credit for these. I did adjust them a bit, but something that Odie and I had done a long time ago was, and this was a long time ago, is he was attempting to perfect a bourbon custard flavor. And I know like T-Max has one. He's tried that one and he's okay with it. It was not his favorite, but we started perusing e-liquid recipes to get some ideas, and we did come across two recipes. Well, there were like 500 of them actually. I did a search for bourbon custard and I got like 500 results. But I was searching through them and I found a couple of them that I thought were very interesting, and we ended up making them, and he really liked them both. So if you guys want to try that, or if you want to try something new, one of them is called a horchata bourbon custard, and so I don't have a horchata. I mean, I don't have a like TFA's horchata flavor, but I have my horchata flavor, which is kind of cool. So we actually used Higgy's horchata as one of the ingredients, which I thought was kind of neat. That one is a very complicated recipe. It uses like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 ingredients. Let's see. And the other one is actually quite simple, and it came out really well. But what else we got here? We can, I mean, it's up to you guys. Let's see here. Ooh, here's one from Cassie. A tea. Oh, passion fruit. Do I have passion fruit? RS, is passion fruit one of the ones you sent me? I think it is. I know you sent me. I have dragon fruit. Did you send me passion fruit? You sent me black currant, and you sent me something else. I don't remember now. I have to go in the lab and look. Horchata would be amazing. Like I said, I have a horchata, Casey. So if you want horchata concentrate, that I can already do. It's like my horchata. But the horchata bourbon that I created, you know, I tweaked it a bit from what was on ELR. But it's something we could, it's like well, I call it a horchata bourbon, but it's a horchata bourbon custard. Pumpkin butter toast. Pumpkin butter toast. Pumpkin is really hard to work with, guys. I can work with pumpkin. I have worked with pumpkin. But it's not something that generally comes out right the first time. You know, pumpkin is it's hard to work with, and you can't just use it on its own. Pumpkin on its own is really very, very bland. You've got to spice it up. I remember trying, I had pumpkin and I tried to spice it up, you know, with cinnamon and clove and things like that, and no. Cornbread pudding. Oh God, D-Mellon, I don't even know where to start with that. I certainly don't have the ingredients for that. I don't even know. What do you even put? How do you even make cornbread pudding? Now I have apple butter. I do have apple butter. It's an apple butter I've made. You can actually purchase apple. Well, can you? I think you can purchase apple butter on the website. It is that's the thing, is it's a very accurate flavor. It's very bland. You have to spice it up. You have to spice it up with cinnamon and, like I said, maybe even a touch of clove. And I got very frustrated trying to spice it up with the flavors I had, so I did end up getting a pumpkin spice flavor. So mixing, like, and it's really, really strong too. Like, oh, it's really strong. So mixing just a tad of the pumpkin spice with the pumpkin definitely gives it that flavor that you're looking for, like in a pumpkin spice latte or in a pumpkin pie. Our pumpkin pie flavor is just the pumpkin pie filling. Like, it doesn't have the pie crust. I didn't have the pie crust at the time, and I always kept saying, oh, I'll go back and I'll make another version of it with the pie crust, and I never did, and now it's too late. One-on-one cornbread pudding to start. Oh yeah, I don't have that one. I don't have that many one-on-one flavors, and it's a shame because one-on-one is a great company. They have a ton of flavors, and they recently merged with Get Suckered. You guys, actually, I think they bought Get Suckered. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about Get Suckered in the past, which I firmly believe that Get Suckered never did get enough attention from the vaping industry. You know, you always heard about, you know, a select, like six or seven companies, you know, and that people always went to, and nobody ever talked about Get Suckered. And I definitely thought they didn't get enough love, and apparently, I don't know, I don't think it was the vaping industry's fault, but one-on-one absorbed them this year, I think it was, actually. Oh, Yardbird, call! You had my pumpkin pie, you mixed it with gingerbread. Gingerbread is a very strong flavor. Oh, I think I did that. I remember that. I did a pumpkin gingerbread at one point, didn't I? I think it's in here. Let's see. I'm almost positive I remember doing that. It was a while back. Oh, here's a gingerbread eggnog. Ugh. Pumpkin gingerbread. There it is. Yep. How did that come out? Was it terrible? I don't remember. How did that come out? I don't remember. We called it Basic Bitch. Oh, did we? That's not what I called it in here. I could have swore I called it Basic Bitch in here somewhere. Or did we do it twice? Let's see, wait. Let me look for basic bitch. No, I don't see it. Oh my gosh, I totally remember that now. Making a grasshopper. Oh. Oh, a grasshopper. Let's look that up. I like that idea. Look at that, all recipes. Cream de menthe, cream de cacao, heavy cream, and ice. I have cream de menthe. And that would be, it would actually probably be pretty easy to do. You were going to, but said if you could ever sell it, it would get a name change. I know, I don't see it in here though. I see, let's see. Tet Loris Latte, Dark Fruits, Tangerango, Fairy Potion, Dragon Fruit Cheesecake, Frisky Christmas, Blueberry Crumble. Yeah, I see. Maybe that was the one. The pumpkin gingerbread. Seems like it was such a long time ago, though. You still want to see a strawberry champagne with a touch of white chocolate. Okay. I have TFA's cream de menthe, actually. Let's see here. Let me add that in here. Let's see. So we're gonna go copy. Now Cassie wants a strawberry champagne, but she wants champagne, white chocolate, and strawberry. I'm just gonna put that in there to remind me. Okay. And then let's see here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Two mouthfeels and wait, what? Two mouthfeels in one. Let's see here. So a grasshopper. I like that grasshopper idea, actually. I like that a lot. And what else did y'all say in here? Okay. Actually, I should put your name there, shouldn't I? So I know that we haven't made it yet. All right, so let's see. All right, so for the grasshopper, we would want to use cream de menthe. Probably want to use vanilla bean ice cream. Probably want to use vanilla. I don't know that it needs much else than that, really. Oh, two mouthfeels in one for strawberry champagne with a touch of white chocolate. I will say that I remember having... White chocolate's a tough one. I do have a white chocolate. I have it. I think it's Flavor West's white chocolate. But I remember trying a bunch of different white chocolates. I tried one from Get Suckered. And I tried one from... I don't remember now. I know I tried 2 or 3 of them, and they were not good. One of them would fade. The flavor would fade after 2 or 3 days. And then another one just didn't taste like white chocolate at all. The Flavor West one is the best one I've found so far. You're munching on some white pumpkin pie M&Ms. Man, you guys are challenging me now. Oh, okay. So we're gonna let's say so grasshopper will be pretty easy. I don't think it needs much more than cream de menthe, vanilla bean ice cream, and vanilla. You don't want to use all just cream de menthe and vanilla bean ice cream. I think that would make it too ice creamy. I think the vanilla will tone down the ice cream flavor and make it more of a milkshake flavor rather than a because that's if you ever had a grasshopper, it's like a minty milkshake basically. I don't have a milkshake base. I was trying to make one, actually. I mean, what is a milkshake, though? A milkshake is basically just like melted ice cream. Not melted ice cream, but like soft ice cream, right? I mean, that's basically what a milkshake is. So, I do have the dairy milk flavor, but I use it for a co-packer, actually. I use it for somebody else's products. But when I've used it in the past, I didn't care for it. I felt like it was like at high wattages it would almost tasted like sour milk, like it would sour. So I do have an awesome vanilla ice cream, but I can't use it because I don't want to give that away. I don't want to give that away. So, I mean, I have hidden it in other recipes that we've done before, but it was cleverly hidden. But I don't, this would be pretty obvious, actually, what the ratio is, so I don't want to give it away. But if it's good, DIYers will descend on it like locusts, right? Yeah, like I said, I've cleverly hidden it before, but I don't want to give away my ice cream recipe. What can I say? I'm keeping it all to myself. If you want it, you gotta come buy from me. And I'm okay with that. I do need to put the just Higgy's ice cream actually as a concentrate on the website, which I haven't done. I'm a little afraid that it wouldn't work by itself, like as a concentrate. Like I'm not sure that the flavors would mix at because it'd be a much higher level, and I'm not sure that they would work. But in theory, it would work because it's the same ratio of the flavors to each other, just more of it without any flavor to go on top of it. But I don't know. I'm a little worried. I'd have to do some experimenting. All right, you asked for it.
Key lime ice cream is mine. What the? Who's that bitch now?
Oops, I laughed, and but I had the mic muted. Look at that, D Millen's putting me to shame. I don't have that one either. I have oh god, I have a ton of little Capella samples. I thought I had Dulce de Leche. That was one that we were looking for Thursday night, but I don't have that one. I've got a crap ton of Capella samples, and I have some Flavor Art samples too. I'd have to go look through my stash. No, I don't have that one either. And the reason I don't have that one is because we looked up how to make French vanilla. And French vanilla is basically taking vanilla and adding custard to it. Or taking like sweet cream and adding custard to it. That's how you make French vanilla. And that's I mean we don't have any specific French vanilla flavors, but that's how you make it. I can go 8% key lime and 7% ice cream. Oh, I do have dairy milk and I do have sweet cream. Like I said, I haven't had good luck with dairy milk, but I'm certainly willing to try it. So you think I should use dairy milk and sweet cream instead of vanilla bean ice cream and vanilla? I'm gonna defer to D Millen on this one. I gotta get going though. It's almost 9 o'clock. I only got an hour. Keep it low. Which one? Keep the dairy milk low? Alright, we'll go dairy milk and sweet cream. Alright, so we're gonna go low on the dairy milk. And probably our overall flavoring, I would imagine, needs to be pretty low too. Because creme de menthe is going to be strong. I mean, any minty flavors are going to be strong. So you want to keep them, use both. Like, sweet cream. Sorry. Okay, so you're saying use both? Use dairy milk, sweet cream, and vanilla bean ice cream and vanilla? Or, like, clarify? Which one? Which way you going with this? I would think vanilla bean ice cream needs to be a factor, just because it is such a rich vanilla flavor, and it will give you that ice creamy type fullness to it. And you've got to be careful with sweet cream too, because if you go too much on the sweet cream, it's sort of like not immediately, like it'll taste good up front, but it sort of does this this hostile takeover. Like in about a week, it does this crazy hostile takeover thing. And it has a really weird, like, it's just weird. Alright. So, like I said, you got to keep the sweet cream low. And you got to, and the creme de menthe, I mean, creme de menthe, you want to keep it pretty low too, I would think. Okay. Oops. Just a little sweet cream and a little dairy milk and mostly vanilla bean and ice cream. Okay. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. Okay, I got this. I got this. All right, you ready? All right, we're going to aim for 10% flavoring today. Okay. So what I got here, let me pull up my little sheet that transfers over to the lab. All right. So, grasshopper. Make a 30 ml bottle. We're going to use 1.6. I don't know. You think 1.6 is too much for the creme de menthe? I mean, you want the mint to be strong, but you don't want it to take over. 1.6 might be a lot. Maybe take that down. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about that one. I'm a little on the fence. Maybe make it 1. Well, 1.6 is kind of weird. Let's make it 1.5. All right, so cream de mint. We're gonna go. Oops. 1.5%. You would start at 1%. That's what I kind of thought. That 1%. Yeah, I thought 1.5 might be too much. Yeah, 1.5 is gonna be too much. So. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right, so 1% on the cream de mint. We're gonna go 0.5% on dairy milk. Oops. 1% on sweet cream. Because again, you got to be careful with the sweet cream, guys. It will do this hostile takeover if you put too much. I mean, I would say never go more than at most 3% of your bottle. Like that should be your absolute limit on sweet cream. Because if you go over that, it's just going to just take over everything. It doesn't do it right away. Like it might taste good right off the bat. And then in a week or two, it just does this crazy hostile takeover. Okay, and then, okay, so 1% cream de menthe, 0.5% dairy milk, 1% sweet cream, and then 3.75% each of vanilla bean ice cream and vanilla. I know you own a lot more mods than I do, but I still think the Hexound beats almost all of mine. What is your opinion? The only place bacon don't belong is a Safontaine. You know, before the regs hit, we were actually working on a bacon milkshake because you weirdos out there were requesting it. All right, so I'll go over that one more time. 1% cream de menthe. These are all TFA flavors, by the way. 1% cream de menthe, 0.5% dairy milk, 1% sweet cream, 3.75% vanilla bean ice cream, and 3.75% of vanillin. That's what they call it. 3.5 vanilla sounds too high? I would think, though, it would balance out. I don't think you can ever have too much vanilla. I mean, I don't think you can have too much vanilla. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. All right. I will see you guys over in the lab momentarily.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go real slow. Don't you see, baby, I see it's perfect. Babe, I know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection. Oh boy, I can see your body moving, half animal, half man. I don't really know to have a plan. My will, I'm self-restrained. Have done to fail now, fail now. See, I'm doing what I can, but I can't. So you know that's a bit too hard to explain.
I forgot to tell you guys. I could try to pull up the chat here in the lab, but it would be very difficult. Our lab computer died, and I'm using a laptop. It's a laptop that we had bought for, you know, sort of like the Higgy Sigs laptop, that if we needed to take, you know, a computer somewhere. And so this is the most use this laptop has gotten since we bought it. But so I can't see your chat. And I mean, if I try to pull it up, this laptop is a very cheap laptop. I think we paid $200 for it. And it doesn't do a whole lot of functions at the same time very efficiently. So I would probably sit here and fight with it for, I don't even know how long I would sit here and fight with it to get it to work, to pull up the chat. So if you have any questions or any comments you really want me to see, I would suggest waiting until I'm back at my desk to say them. Because, yeah, I'm not going to be able to see it. All right. So, oh no. I don't have, I mean, I do have, but I'm going to have to refill my vanilla bean ice cream bottle because I'm out, actually. All right, let me find my, let's see, dairy, and, oh, it's cream soda. Where is my cream de menthe? Nope, that's coconut. Shit, where's my cream de menthe? Oh, there it is. Ah! Cream de menthe. But, hang on. While I go get my, the bottle. And yes, I have this pair of scissors here. It's this pair of stainless steel scissors. It is the only thing I use it for, is to pry the press-in adapters out of these bottles. So yeah, these get washed and sanitized all the time. I still wipe them off all the time, but to make sure that no flavoring gets stuck to them. But yeah, this is my handy dandy tool for prying the caps, press-in adapters out of these bottles, because I refill it with a gallon. Let's see, vanilla bean ice cream, sweet cream, there it is. So yeah, shake it up. You gotta always shake your flavors. Now, when Peach worked here, she would refill these things, not even over the sink. I was like, she sure was confident in herself. And this press-in looks pretty worn, so I'm going to get rid of it. All right, so these are the press-in adapters that I'm always talking about. They come in 4 different sizes. If you get a 16 ounce of flavoring from TFA, the large size, which is like the third biggest size, like they're small, medium, large, and extra large is kind of what I call it. And this is the large size. They fit really, really great. And the 4 ounce bottles, this is the 4 ounce bottle, has the same mouth as the 16-ounce bottle, so that large size fits in them really good too. So, all right. So here's my squishy 30 ml bottle. So we're gonna put in 1.2 milliliters of creme de menthe. We're going to put in 0.6 of dairy/milk. We're going to put in 1.2 of sweet cream. .5 vanilla. And 4.5 of vanilla. I just shook this. Vanilla bean ice cream. That's way too much. I had this set for a bigger bottle size. I screwed up. Hang on. I did it again. I think I had this set for 60 mils again. I can't believe I did that. Let's check my my spreadsheet. Oh, no, I had it set for 120 mils. Even better. That's awesome. All right. So basically, you need to cut everything I just did down by 4. Boy, that was stupid. Yes, these are the kind of mistakes you make when you're not paying attention. So let's try that again. Creme de menthe. So let's try that at like 0.3. Dairy milk. That's going to be like 5 drops, right? Because it's going to be 0.15. So I pull this out and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweet cream, 0.3. And I thought this seemed like awfully high. I was like, man, that's a lot of flavoring to put in there. All right, let's make that like 1.2. And 1.2 of this. That was so stupid. Oh, shit. Okay. I'm going to grab one of these guys, okay? Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab, I usually grab the 2575, but I'm going to grab the 3 milligram 3070 because this is designed to go with 15% flavoring. So if I put this in with 10% flavoring, it will actually make it a 2575. And I was going to give you guys, you know, you can get these on Amazon, all right? What I've done with these are 1 liter squeeze bottles. And then I actually cut the tops off. I cut about, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch or so off the top because the holes are really, really small. And you're sitting there and you're like squeezing forever and a day just to get it out. So if you cut the tops off a little bit, it flows out a lot quicker. All right. I'll see you back at my desk. Sorry about that.
attack, gonna lead the pack, gonna get a touchdown, gonna take you out. That's right, put your pom poms down, getting everybody fired up.
Would have loved to see me vape the first bottle of this stuff that had, what, like 40% flavor. It's real, you know, when you do this over and over and over again, you start to get an idea of how much flavoring should be in the bottle. So it's real obvious when you fuck up. And I did. Oh wow, look at that. Isn't that lovely? Look at the hairnet did to my hair. Let's see. How did this turn out? I'm gonna be curious now.
So that's why dude, meet me at the bleachers, no principals, no student teachers. Both of us wanna be the winner, but there can only be one. So
Like the way it tastes.
I'm gonna make you fall, gonna suck it to you. That's right, I'm the last one standing.
I know. I've asked David to fix it. No. Actually, I try to make it just because of you. I do try to make it. It's not the shelf. Look, it's not the shelves. See, look. The shelf is pretty straight. Okay. It's the countertop and the ceiling that are crooked. You see that? The ceiling is crooked and the countertop is pretty crooked, but the shelf is straight. I just made it a one shot. I did, but you know what? This is pretty I can still taste the mint. I can still taste it on my tongue. That is going to be tasty. I think that's my new favorite mint. Okay, so what are we going to put this on? This is what has the bourbon custard on it from the other night. So let's do that. I know you are on the level. It's plumb easy. You are just on fire. You are on fire. All right. So taking my Zeus X off. Ooh, doesn't that look pretty? Look at my rainbow Zeus X on my IPV 400. Which I don't know, did I tell you guys? My IPV 6X died. I was so upset. I was devastated that my IPv6. I left my mod at home. That was a couple weeks ago, and but I'm like, hey, no big deal. I got plenty of them over here, right? And I pulled out my 6X and a .com, and it won't. It says atomizer too low. And you know, I mean, and it's not so much a matter of replacing it. I mean, I know I could replace it. I think you could probably still find the 6X somewhere, but I have this pretty wrap on it. You know, this abalone wrap with the Higgy Sigs logo and everything, right? And yeah, it says every tank or atomizer I put on it says atomizer too low. And it's not. Like, I don't know what's causing that. I tried cleaning it, and I tried all kinds of things, and it just wouldn't work. I'm very upset about that. It's the first mod I've ever had that like died. You know, I give them away, you know, or I break them. I mean, I don't break them that often, but I have broken them in the past. And you know, breaking it is one thing, but it just died on me. Is the 510 connector out? Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the 510 connector is right there. It's not loose. It's spring-loaded. I mean, I could turn it slightly, but not anymore. I don't know. Let's see. Well, here, let's try it. Let's see what it says now. I did tighten it up just a little bit. If you can take the case off and put it on a new one. Oh, if I can take the case off, put on a new one. Let's see if doing that little tiny twist on it helps, because I would love to be able to use this. All right, so here, just for proof, it says, well, you can't read it, but it says 0.28. 0.28. Not too low in the least, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Look at that. It won't even fire. That's all it will say. No matter what tank or Addy I put on it, it just says low resistance. So yeah, I don't know what causes that. Is the 5, I mean, it certainly doesn't look, I mean, I can certainly try it. I think I did clean it out. And there's a little bit in there, not much. Let's try again. Thread some paper towel down the 510. What? Alright. Like this? Like down in there like that? Like, there's not really any room to do that. You would take it all apart and not get it back together, I know, right? I mean, there's not really any room in there to do that. I'll try again, though. Does it say low with nothing on it? Yes. But I don't know what it used to say before. It could be a bad wire on the side of the mod. Did those? It's beautiful. Actually, I got this from J-Wraps. See, low resistance. It's very, very sad. I got this from J-Wraps, and I absolutely love it. I believe this was Abalone 4, if I'm not mistaken. I added the Higgy Sigs to it, but WildStar Vapes actually had sent me a whole bunch of these little vinyl cutouts of the logo, and so that's why I put it on my mods. But I believe this was Abalone 4. I think they have 4 different abalone patterns, and this is the one that I liked the most. But it's beautiful. I mean, it's got, it's like slightly pearlescent. Let me see if I can get this. You can see that. See, it's slightly pearlescent. Not holographic, just pearlescent. It's just, it fits super nice. It's really beautiful. Jazzy says, turn it off and on again. System on. System off. What does reflash the firmware mean? Pioneer for you sucks. They are designed to fail to frustrate you to buy another one. Steven, you're talking to an IPV fan. I've got a bunch of them, and I love them all. And they've never. This is the first one to fail on me. Yep, low resistance. It's so frustrating. Here, let's use this one. Low resistance. See? I mean, it's possible it could be taken apart, but I don't know how to do that. So I don't know what reflash the firmware means, Jazzy. If you have instructions on how to do that, I would be more than happy to. Yeah, it's frustrating. Anyway, I love my IPv6X, and I'm so sad that it's gone. Okay, this is weird. What's going on here? Oh, okay. I couldn't get this screwed onto my IPv400. I'm like, what the hell? All right. What are we doing here? We are... It would be like a reset. If anybody knows how to do that, feel free to send me a message on Facebook or something to tell me how to do that. I would love to reset this thing and get it working again, if that's possible, because I love my IPv6X. All right, so what we're doing though is we are taking out this wicking material, which is soaked with bourbon custard. One of the bourbon custards that we made last night, or 2 nights ago, I'm not sure which one. So burn that off. Oh, Aries coils are so amazing. They heat up evenly every time. They're so wonderful. Most likely a ground issue. I do have an IT guy. Hook it up to a computer and reload the software from the site. Hi Sandra. I don't know. I don't remember if that one has a Yeehee chip in it or not. I don't know if that's something that can be done. All right. See, I don't want to leave juice all over your scissors. That was very wrong. All right, so let's make some more wicks. No, I'm not doing the Scottish roll. I'm just doing regular wicking. I mean, I guess I can do the Scottish roll if you really want me to, but I was mostly doing that for my own benefit in the past. Yes, you caught me. That is too thick. That is not going to fit in there. There we go. Yeah, if you've got a way to do like a factory reset on that thing or something, I would love to hear it. I do not want to think that my beloved 6X is just dead. Fluff those edges, fluff them, where you cut it, fluff it. But you know, hashtag this bitch can take it, right? It's the .com, it can take it. It can take all this extra cotton. I have nothing to lose, it doesn't work now, I might as well try it. This is true. This is true. I don't want to ruin that wrap though. I don't think I will ruin. I didn't put the bottom on. There was a bottom and I didn't put it on there. So I actually do have access to those screws. There's 2 screws up here though. I could probably cut through the wrap to get, because you could you see the indents, right? So I could probably cut through, like take an X-Acto blade and cut through little holes in the wrap right there to get to those screws. Those screws are easily gettable too. And having Odeon and his wife here really highlighted to me how we all vape differently, you know, which is another reason why it's just so incredibly sad that they're trying to get rid of vaping, because we are all so very, very different. You know, we all have different, you know, look, turns out Odie and I actually vape at about the same ohms, but he prefers a very, very soft and cool vape as opposed to me, which I don't like hot vapes. I actually prefer just a warm vape. So like at 0.27, 0.28, I like, you know, at around 65 watts. He does the 0.3, but he's like at like 35 watts, right? We're all just very, very different, you know, and taking away our choice of devices and flavors and everything else is just so wrong. It's wrong. Okay. Ready? It's tasty. Ooh, you get the little mint on the end there too. I mean, you get the mint up front, and then you get like the creaminess and the milkiness in the middle, and then you get the mint kind of comes back on the end, like it comes back and kicks you on the end. That's pretty good. You know what else I have discovered is a really good way to get the full amount of flavor is if you know how, do the dragon. The dragon actually gives you really good flavor. It is like, well, I don't get the chocolatiness of an Andes Mint, but it is definitely Andes Mint like. If you know how to do the dragon though, and obviously when you breathe out of your nose, you're hitting all your olfactory receptors more so than you do in your mouth, and that's why you'll get more flavor. But doing the dragon exhale actually really, really does bring out the flavor. So if you can, it condenses in your nose, but it really brings out the flavor. Did you check the spring release 510 connector on that mod to make sure it is extended? It is poking up. It does look a little bit to the side, maybe? Did I take the batteries out? Oh, I did. What did I do with the batteries? Yeah, any ideas that you guys have, I'm absolutely open to. So let's go back to the build camp. All right, let's put batteries back in this bad boy. Okay, so yeah, I don't get the impression. Great, now it's not even turning on. There it is. IP, okay. Pioneer for you. IPv6X. Yeah, I don't get the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mode, power, version. Oh, it is a Yeehee chip. Yeehee SX330. Exit on. Oh! Oh! Okay. That was something new. It is not extended. Try to push it down and release it. Okay. I can push it down. Do you want me to try to maybe unscrew it a little bit? Update the software? Yeah, I'm not going to open it up. Yep, still says low resistance. Damn. Ah! If the 510 spring release was jammed, what you did would fix it. No, it's totally flush with the, yeah, it's definitely got it going on in there, so it's frustrating. It is very frustrating. I love this mod. It's so small, you know, I mean, it's so compact, and it's just so simple looking, right? You know, I think the button's a little bit small on it. I don't care for the button on it, but I love this mod. I really love this mod. Yeah, I haven't tried to update the software yet. So the fact that I do know that it is a Yeehee chip now means if it update don't work, I'm willing to bet the $5 that the wire came off of the 510. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna I might play with it and see what I can do with it. I'll see if I can update the software on it or reinstall the software or whatever. I have lead pipe. I've tried my .coms, I've tried my tanks, I've tried a whole bunch of things on it, and I get the same thing. So, but back to our grasshopper. It is not too much mint. I think 1.5 might have been a little too much, so 1% was perfect. I don't think it's too much vanilla, although I am a vanilla fan, so I don't think necessarily that, I mean, it might be too much for someone else, but I really think it's perfect, actually. It definitely tastes kind of like an Andes candy. It could potentially be a little creamier. What would I do there? Maybe bump up the sweet cream a little bit. Keep it so next time. I'm not going to get rid of it. I like it too much. I'm definitely not going to get rid of it. At least, I don't know. I mean, I suppose I might in a feng shui attack or something, but I don't have those very often. But yeah, I'm really upset that this has died. I could try to do the software thing though. I mean, it definitely has it has a micro USB port right here, and so it could potentially attach to something and maybe do some sort of reset on it. Yeah, I think if anything, I might maybe bump up the sweet cream. But at this point, it's very, very like a creamy, minty milkshake flavor. I don't think I would bump up the milk flavor at all because, like I said, I haven't had good experience with the milk flavor. So the small amount that's in there, I think, is good. But the sweet cream could potentially bump up a little bit. I don't think I would decrease. I might take the sweet cream up. I don't know. I'm not sure what I would do. It is a 330, SX 330. I did discover that by going through the menu. David would hate this. He thinks that mint only belongs in toothpaste. That's what he says. Mint should only be in toothpaste. My Rage mod came DOA, and all it took was to put the red wire back in the 510 pin. I mean, the only thing I'm really worried about is if I take this thing apart. Well, number one is the wrap preventing it, like where the seams would be. Like I would imagine, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how this thing works. The wrap, I would probably damage the wrap in the process if I try to take it apart. Which is the main reason why I haven't tried to take it apart. Because, I mean, and I know I could get another wrap. I mean, they're like, what, like 15 bucks? They're not much. But I, for one, am happy to see you make a mint. I guess I had to coin a phrase. Makes sense. Ha 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 ha. I'm not opposed to mints. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I could almost, well, I could take the top off. Like I said, the top has, you can see the indents. I didn't put the, I never did put the bottom on. Here we go. Let's go back over here. So you can see these little indents here. That's where the screws are. So I could cut out the little indent parts with an X-Acto blade and get to those screws. There's screws on the bottom. I never did put the bottom sticker on just because I didn't want to try to line up this. It was two pieces and I just didn't want to line it up, and I was fine with it. I mean, it's the bottom. Who looks at the bottom anyway? But yeah. I mixed some Flavora cream de menthe and it tastes exactly like an Andes Mint First chocolate that tastes good to me. Cool! So the Flavora cream de menthe has like chocolate built in? Because I didn't really think, I don't know. I mean, cream de menthe is like a minty liqueur, right? I mean, I guess I could try to take it apart. I don't know if I want to try to take it apart on cam. I want to fuck it up. Definitely take the batteries out, people. I'm so upset over this, though. It's reading. It's reading at 0.3%. Now it's oh. Let me try something here. Because it changed. Yeah, it's reading at 0.03. It is actually reading. And I know sometimes when you hold the fire button down, it'll reread. But it's not working. Damn it. If it's the 510 wire, the top would be the only part that needs to come off. Okay. Is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, this is pretty tasty. I could almost ask for it to be creamier, though. Almost. It's definitely sweet enough. Pretty good, though. Pretty good. I like it. I like it. It's a winner. It is a winner. I'm going to look at that. I'm re-dripping for the second time. I never do that. Although I might just be being a little bit paranoid because I haven't been dripping in a while. I'm a little spoiled with my Zeus X. Now that I have a tank that I like, right? And I only have to fill it up like twice a day. It's awesome. like wow, man. But this is pretty good. It's very fresh. It is very refreshing. It's it's a good flavor. D. Millen obviously recommends Flavora's Cream de Menthe. I have TFA's Cream de Menthe, but I would say I'm giving it my seal of approval. I don't know if it would be okay all by itself. Mints are so strong, guys. Like, really, you have to be careful with mints. Any mint. Because I mean, if I didn't want the mint to sort of be the hero of this flavor, I would take it way down. Like, at 1% is way too much. If you're just wanting to add a bit of coolness to your flavor, you want to be like 1/4%, like way down. Because even just a drop of mint in your bottle is going to affect it, okay? Any mint, like whether it's Cream de Menthe or menthol or spearmint or peppermint or Coolada, like whatever, wintergreen, any mint that you use, if you're only wanting to add a bit of coolness to it, you've got to be really, 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 really conservative with it. You can always add more to it. You can't take it away. And the only reason I went as high as I did with the mint is because it's kind of needed to be the hero of the flavor. Like the cream is just supposed to sort of back it up. Yeah, mint. Oh, I'm surprised that you're learning that now. I mean, mint. I mean, you DIY so much that like mint, you can just put a drop in a bottle and it's gonna cool it off. You just have to be very, very, very careful. And you saw I only put 0.3 of milliliter in this bottle to begin with. And that's still making the mint the hero of the flavor. It'll just take over everything if you put too much in. So a little bit of mint goes a long way. Peppermint candy. Yeah, like the fluffer mint that I have is, Gwen came up with that recipe, and I mean, and it's got a decent amount of peppermint in it, considering. But again, it's supposed to be the hero of the flavor, right? Like our sweet winterberry has wintergreen in it, but it is a small amount of wintergreen, like really small. It's just meant to be enough to sort of cool it off. Mint can almost act like a salt, really. Whenever you're eating something and you feel it's a little bit bland and you want to just brighten up the flavor, you throw a little bit of salt on it. And yeah, like that's what mint, like sweetener and mint, any kind of mint should almost be used the way you would use salt. Just a tiny amount to just brighten up that flavor. I can see why, D. Millen, because like I said, I mean, you have to be so careful with it. I mean, some flavors are just hostile in a mix, right? And any mint you use is going to be hostile. I remember like our Country Breeze flavor, actually, in my opinion, that was a recipe that was given to me by Bear. And it wasn't one of his recipes. It was actually just sort of something he came up with during one of my DIY shows. And I think it has too much Coolada in it, personally. It's supposed to be a strawberry lime flavor, and then it's got a little cotton candy for sweetness and Coolada. In my opinion, at least right off the bat, it's way too strong. Like, it's a steeper flavor. It has to sit for a week or two before the Coolada sort of chills out and the strawberry and the lime start coming through. Because in my opinion, when I first vape it, like, all I can taste is the Coolada. It's a popular flavor. A lot of people really like it. Even I've had stores carry it as well, and people really do seem to like it. But in my opinion, if I was to have made it on my own, like without anybody, coming up with the idea, I don't think I would have put that much Coolada in there. Yep, coffee vapes are very tricky. I'm very, very proud of the coffee vapes we have. You got tobaccos, mints, cinnamon, and coffee are the ones you have to be so Coolada chills out. It does chill out. It chills out. It takes a week or so for it to chill out, but it will chill out eventually. Because Coolada is supposed to be they say that it gives you the coolness without giving you a mint flavor. It's still pretty minty though. I mean, they lied. But now I'm very proud of our coffee vapes. We spent a lot of time developing our coffee vapes to make sure that they were just right. And because not only can coffee vapes go bad, the fact of the matter is, if you ask me, almost every single coffee flavoring out there just sucks donkey dick. I mean, really. I've tried TFAs, I've tried Loran's, I've tried Capella's, I've tried. Have I ever tried Flavor West? I don't remember if I've tried Flavor West or not. I've tried a lot of coffee vapes though, and I mean, you're just not going to convince me that there is a single one out there that rivals Flavor Art's Coffee Espresso. They all just taste like moldy ass, if you ask me. And they smell bad. Like, when you try to vape it and the exhale, when the other person, David tried, he tried so hard. Oh, he tried so hard to like, I think it was the Kona coffee flavor from TFA that he tried to like. And he insisted on vaping it for a couple of weeks. And I couldn't even be in the same room with him because it smelled so bad. Wonder Flavors. You know, I didn't even learn of Wonder Flavors until after the regs hit. So, like, I don't experiment with new flavors very often anymore because, you know, it's like, what's the point? Well, Yardbird, I'm just saying, there's a vanilla cappuccino and a mocha latte and a raspberry mocha and a tiramisu that you can find at, at higgysigs.com, right here. And you can get 10% off if you use coupon code VULAT. I mean, if you're interested in coffee vapes, tiramisu. I made tiramisu actually. David made the other three. I made tiramisu. This is so refreshing and so minty. I like it. All right, guys. Are they doing their fuckery over on iVlog tonight? Oh, I'm getting a message. Who messaged me? Peach! All right, so are they doing... I know, right? Vanilla latte. Well, I mean, you could try the vanilla cappuccino. I'm just saying, it could be pretty close. I could be wrong, but it could be pretty close. Now, my tiramisu, no, I had Flavor Arts tiramisu initially. It was okay, but it didn't do it for me. I know what tiramisu is supposed to taste like, and that was not it. So that's actually, it was my friend Wendy actually, because she and I are both just tiramisu fanatics. And she was all like, I really would love a good tiramisu flavor. And I was like, oh man, the one I have is just shitty. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make one. And I made one. And I made it, and then I sent it to her, and then she suggested a couple of things to tweak it, and I tweaked it and sent it to her, and she's like, oh my God, this is perfect. So I have a tiramisu. Just saying. Peachy forgot it's Saturday. All right, so iVlog is on. Excellent. All right, so guys, I cannot stress this enough. You need to go to your local county and city websites. Make sure you look at their agendas, and they change those every week. Oh, thank you, Peachy. I made that one myself. anyway, you need to go to your county and city websites. Okay, look at their like make it like a weekly thing, like every Monday. They usually don't meet on Mondays. I mean, they might. I don't know. I know ours don't. They meet on Tuesdays usually. So go there, make it a routine. Go there every Monday. Look at the agendas. Make sure there isn't anything on the agenda. But in the meantime, you know, if you can, and I mean, I know this isn't easy for some people. Okay, it's not easy for me. But if you care about saving the vaping industry, you need to go and talk to these people. Like, make appointments with them, meet with them. Bring them literature, bring them here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put this in the room for you guys. All right, print this out, take this to them. This is Lindsay Stroud's booklet on a guidebook for policy making. It's called Tobacco Harm Reduction 101, and it's a guidebook for policyholders or policymakers. All right, and it has all the facts, all the info, all the studies, all the references, you know, like showing what this industry is really about. So absolutely, you know, print this out, take it to them, show them, educate them. That's what they need. They need education. They need education. So see, three miles away. All right, your city halls are going to be really close to you, actually. There's going to be city halls. I mean, I've got city halls. Shoot, I know where Norcross City Hall is, Lilburn City Hall, and Lawrenceville City Halls are all within like 10 miles of me. All right. I live in Lilburn, so I mean, the only ones that are really going to want to listen to me is going to be Lilburn. But, and it's too late for Lilburn. Well, it's not too late for Lilburn. I mean, they could do worse. But you know, they just need the education. They don't know. They don't know. They don't understand what's going on. All they know is that people are dying. All right? That's all that they know. People are getting sick and they are dying. And they think it's being caused by vaping. All they need is education. All right? And if we can start to change this narrative from these lower level governments, it could potentially work its way up. All right? I know, like I looked it up earlier, Richard. Lilburn is 6.4 square miles. You know, so it's and these, like I said, these people are just people. They're not impossible to get hold of. They don't make a lot of money. All right, they don't. This is not their full-time job. They all have day jobs. Even the state level, like we found out, the state level Senate, they make like $17,000 a year being a state level senator. Okay, like this is not a full-time job for them. All right, so they're not impossible to get hold of. All right, you can find them, you can talk to them, and you can educate them. And that's how this is going to get won, or at least softened. I don't know, like it's hard to believe that it's not going to snowball, that it hasn't already snowballed into something that's stoppable. But we've got to try. We can't give up yet. Right? We can't give up yet. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you are interested in more entertainment, you can head on over to iBlog. And I will literally see you guys on the other side. And tomorrow from 4 to 6 right here on VU Live. Good night, everybody.